mark, which is kind of the kiss of death for a running back. So I wouldn't rule out Ingram in this scenario. And speaking of Mark Ingram, I'm up next at number 28 with the New England Patriots. And, I mean, I think the Patriots are going to trade this pick. I think Belichick will deal down and maybe get a future first rounder or a bushel of other premium picks. But if they stick here, I'm going to go with Mark Ingram. I mean, the Jarvis Green-Ellis, he ran for some yards last year, but I think that can be a little misleading. I don't know that a 1,000-yard rusher is what he used to be. He's barely got over that mark, so I think they could use a guy like Ingram to be the bell cow and answer their issues at the position once and for all. And I think this is the point where Mark Ingram does become a good value. I wouldn't like him in the top 15, but I think at the end of the first round, I like the value there. Stuber?
I love Mark Ingram. I think, you know what, getting him at number 28 is flat-out burglary. I mean, just to be able to snag this guy, is such a productive running back, a guy who had a great 2009 season breakout, over 1,600 yards. I think he had like 17 touchdowns. I mean, to add that to an offense that already has Tom Brady, I know they need to get another wide receiver, a bigger wide receiver, a guy who can make plays down the field, but they need a running game. And, you know, Mark Ingram would really help Tom Brady out tremendously, especially in the playoffs. If you have that factor in the backfield, you know, this is such a quality selection, and, you know, I know the Patriots would probably love to move down from 28, but if they can, and they can get Mark Ingram, that's tremendous.
Shane?
Yeah, I think it'd be great, and not just because of him as a running back, but catching the ball, pass blocking.
Sure.
These are things that Mark Ingram just does so well that the Patriots value, and that's the only reason I could see them taking a running back this early.
And Britt?
Yeah, I agree. This is kind of where I have Ingram slated as much as I would rather him play for someone other than the Patriots. I think he just fits in here. You know, he has all those intangibles that Belichick places so much value in. He's versatile and he can do a lot of different things, and that's what it takes to be successful up there in New England. I absolutely love the pick, and I would be shocked if they don't trade that pick if he's on the board if Belichick doesn't run to the podium and grab him.
Well, and let's face it, with all the premium picks the Patriots have, they're basically going to come away with one of everything. And I found that when doing my 3-round mock draft, just talk about riches. I mean, an embarrassment of riches. It got to the point when doing the mock draft, like, well, I suppose they could use this, I suppose they could use that. So they are set up in a big, bad way to have a great draft. So it's just a matter of what order they want to address some of these positions in. Next up, Stuber at number 29 with the Chicago Bears.
This is a intriguing spot right here too. You know, the Bears, they have to replace Tommy Harris. That's a given. They need a big wide receiver. They have offensive line issues. So off the bat, I can think of 3 names here. Danny Watkins, who, if they want to take a chance on a 26-year-old who'll be 27 come the season, they can go that way. Jonathan Baldwin is the guy that I've been hearing a lot about going to Chicago. And I guess Marvin Austin is the guy that would really be the perfect replacement for Tommy Harris. And right now, I'd probably go Marvin Austin right here at this selection.
Well, one name, and I agree with the options you listed, but one you did mention that I think is in the mix too would be Derek Sherrod.
Sure. You know what? I actually just forgot about it being on the board because, you know what? I'm going to go Sherrod here. I will go Sherrod because I've been talking about so damn much. I thought he was selected. Yeah, I would probably go with Derek Sherrod here. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, I'll go Sherrod.
That's fine, and I like that pick. And I've actually been saying for a while that the guy Derek Sherrod reminds me of is Chris Williams. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I know Williams has been a disappointment in the NFL, but I think there's some similarities there. And the Bears organization has already proven that they like a player with some of those characteristics. So I think that would be a great pick. I think if Corey Legit somehow fell this far, he'd be an obvious fit. Like you mentioned, Marvin Austin, although I wouldn't agree with that pick. I think Marvin Austin is getting overrated here. Everyone's focusing on these workouts and stuff, but let's not forget, throw in the film, and he was an underachiever on the field. To me, Marvin Austin is not a first-round pick.
But you would have put this guy, he would be the perfect fit, or the perfect replacement for Tommy Harris.
Absolutely, and he's absolutely a first-round talent. He just doesn't play like a first-rounder on the field, so that concerns me. I think he's getting a little overhyped here, and I think it's one of those situations where people are getting lost in the workout numbers and they're forgetting about